Grab your sleds and your sanity because we're diving into the 2000 Nickelodeon film Snow Day. From epic snowball fights to wild crushes and a Hoku banger, this winter comedy brought childhood dreams to life. Welcome to the No More Late Fees podcast. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Jackie, and we're just two best friends and ex-Blockbuster employees rewatching some of the best and worst underlined for this movie from the late 90s and early 2000s. This week, we're talking about Snow Day, the movie that captured Danielle's soul when it came out. Lord, I don't know why. But before we dive in, let's get into some
housekeeping.
If you love the podcast and you want to support us, here are a few ways that you can.
You can head to our Patreon and get exclusive bonus episodes, behind the scene content, and more. Head to patreon.com/no more late fees and become a No More Late Fees bestie.
And do you need some nostalgic finds? Check out our Amazon store for movie-inspired gifts, fun throwbacks, and everything you need for a cozy snow day rewatch. Visit amazon.com/shop/no more late fees podcast.
And treat yourself to some self-care. Head over to nostabeauty.com and use our exclusive code NMLF for 20% off your purchase, because nostalgia and makeup go hand in hand. In this case, it definitely does. Yes. Head to nostabeauty.com.
And this week, we are not alone in this torture. We are so excited to have Chelsea and Donny from the I Am the Cute One podcast joining us. Hello, and we're sorry.
Hello. Apologies.
No, you know what? It just means we don't have to cover it on our podcast now. So thank you so much for doing the hard work. Yeah.
You just put a blank episode and say, go listen to the nightmare on No More Late Fees. If you want to learn more about Chelsea and Donny, make sure you go check out this week's bonus episode as we play Fuck, Marry, Kill with the Nickelodeon actors of our youth. All right, Jackie, you ready? What is Snow Day about?
Nothing. It's about adults that are trying to work. Snow Day from 2000 follows a group of kids as they take full advantage of a surprise snowstorm, battling a menacing snowplow driver to extend their day off. Meanwhile, a love-struck teen attempts to win over his longtime crush. It's a nostalgic winter adventure filled with hijinks, heart, and plenty of snow. It stars Chevy Chase, Chris Elliott, Mark Webber, Skylar Fisk, and Josh Peck. It was directed by Chris Koch.
Cooter.
It was written by Will McRobb and Chris Viscardi, and you can currently watch it on Paramount and Amazon. But before we start, let's get into our ratings rewind.
So, you know the drill. Before we get into the movie, we'll reveal the rating our Y2K versions of ourselves would give. Then at the end, we'll see if our current selves agree with our initial rating. Our scale consists of would buy it again.
The best, would play on repeat.
5-day rental.
Would watch again.
2-day rental.
Okay, but nothing to write home about.
And same-day rental.
Trash. Throw in front of the snowplow. It's trash.
And also never seen, if this is the first time anyone's seen this movie in this rewatch. So Chelsea, we'll start with you.
Okay.
What was your Y2K rating of Snow Day?
So this is wild to admit here publicly because, as I said in this bonus week's episode, but I haven't watched many movies as a child. I watched this movie in theaters on a snow day, and I 100% would buy it again. I, at the time, left that movie theater being like, I've just seen cinema. I understand film.
I love you, Chelsea, for that. I know it's going to make me feel less alone. How about you, Donny? What was your rating?
I was 14 in the year 2000, so I was in that sweet spot where I was too old for kids' movies, but right before you become old enough where you can watch kids' movies again, and it's like, ironic. So I wasn't watching High School Musical yet. I was just too old to watch kids' movies. So I did not see this as a child.
Mm.
And I also didn't like it gave Pete and Pete vibes. So I didn't watch that. It
Maybe.
reminded me that I was white trash if I watched things like that. So I stayed away.
I'm going to politely not push back on Donnie's I was too old for kids' movies comment that
I
you just
explained
made.
it.
You explained it. I'm going to line up some timelines after we log off today of some of the other movies we've covered that you watched upwards of 17 times or whatever, but I
High
believe
School
you.
Musical 3 did not come out here. I saw High School Musical 3 13 times in theaters, but that's when I was in college.
Oh, I forgot. That's better. Okay.
That's what I said. When you get old enough, it's fine. Like, there's that weird time when you're a little kid, you love your parents, and then there's a weird time when you hate them, and then you like them again. That's how it is with watching kids' movies. You want to push away. I was already watching Cruel Intentions.
Oh, yeah. Once you've jerked off to Ryan Phillippe's butt, that's it
Yeah,
for
you
you.
can't watch a fucking snowplow. Who cares?
Jackie?
I have never seen this movie because I was grown. This came out in the year 2000 when we graduated high school.
It came out before we graduated.
Danielle, what did you feel about this movie in the
fucking
year
loved
2000?
it. Fucking loved it. Fucking loved it. It was the bees motherfucking needs. And I have no shame in my game. Okay.
It had everything. I would argue too many plots, but at the time, a little something for everyone.
I just never want to hear anything about a kid in King Arthur's court again.
All right. Let me just say this. I had some deep thoughts to myself about this movie because
on the rewatch.
Now listen. I rewatched this during the pandemic. I just said, I can't wait for us to do this movie. You got to watch me my snow day. So I did. I watched it and I said, Jesus. My soul left my body like, Danielle. I pulled myself to the side. I was like, girl, what were we doing? Why? Why this movie? So I started to formulate what young Danielle was feeling. Why this movie? Because you remember Jackie and I went to high school together, and she saw in real time the insanity of me being obsessed with this movie, like leading up to the commercials, the trailers, everything. Like I needed to see this movie. And so I really think what it was that Mark Webber, because you and I love Drive Me Crazy, he was in Drive Me Crazy, and so I think I had that affinity.
Designated Dave.
Right? And then that Hoku song put a spell on a bitch. It really did. It spellbound me. I bought the CD, the single, not the whole album, because I couldn't trust. I don't know what she's doing. She, couldn't trust everything. But I got the CD and I listened to it on a loop. And I think that combination is what got me. Because I can't think of any other reason why. There's nobody else in this movie I give a shit about. Oh, and Skylar Fisk, because I love Babysitter's Club.
Yeah.
So I think the combination of that.
Side note, Hoku CD is a fucking banger. I owned it and it was so good. Top to bottom, no notes.
Well, I loved back in the day that you could buy a CD single because you couldn't really trust, buying a whole album. That's a commitment. So I bought that. And then
it was a more hinged way of saying you were going to be unhinged about a song, because I wish that I had just done that. But instead, when Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy came out, I did put it on a CD 18 times in a row so that I could just listen to it. And I didn't have to wait for it to reset to the beginning, and I would just go. So I feel like a single was a better way of just saying, yeah, I'm unhinged, but in a whimsical way, not in a creepy way.
Boomboxes and Walkman, Chelsea, had a replay button though.
Well,
you know how I am with technology. That didn't come out of nowhere, Donnie.
Okay, that's true.
I didn't Hoku wasn't coming on the radio right?
Right.
Like I really loved Mambo number 5 when it came out. And one day one of the radio stations played it like back to back without any other song. So
Mm,
I was able to record it, but I could never record Hoku, so I had to buy the little CD.
of course.
One of our wonderful guests that we had, Sonia, she came on and we were really excited. I think one of the first videos I saw of her was her talking about how Hoku made this song, Not Another Dumb Blonde, for Snow Day, and then made A Perfect Day
Yes.
for Legally Blonde. And it's like, when she broke this down, it broke my brain because had this been on the Legally Blonde soundtrack, I would have lost my shit because it made more sense. Snow Day is a perfect day. Legally Blonde, Not Another Dumb Blonde. What happened here? Who fucked that up?
This
Danielle,
is like whoever named Iceland and Greenland.
Right.
Flip it.
Danielle, I only have 2 notes in my notes about this movie, and that was one of them. So now, the rest of this episode, good luck to all of us, because I'm only working off 1 note.
All right, let's get into box office. This movie, surprisingly, had a budget of $13 million. And it made, there was a bunch of Danielles and Chelseas out in the world. It made $62.5 million.
My God.
Banger. Okay. It opened in its first weekend and made $14.3 million. So it made its budget in its first weekend. And it only came behind The Beach and Scream 3. The numbers don't lie, y'all. I'm just saying.
I think it was more a scarcity of family-friendly
Tomato,
films.
it was a motherfucking banger in 2000, y'all. We survived Y2K and said we gonna watch Snow Day, and that's what happened.
Tell us what Lil Raj had to say, Danielle.
Like, look, Jackie, all month me and Lil Roger were gonna be in fisticuffs because that bitch been saying some foul shit. He said, in a comparison to the 1983's A Christmas Story, Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times called Snow Day an uninspired assembly of characters and storylines that interrupt one another until the battle against Snowplow Man takes over, just when we're hoping he will disappear from the movie and set free the teenage romance trapped inside it. Aside from the film itself, Ebert also wrote, "What a thoughtless place is Hollywood, and what talent it must feel free to waste," in reference to Pam Grier being given another lousy role after her wonderful performance in Jackie Brown. Entertainment Weekly's Owen Gluberman wrote, "Even Snow Day's Winter Wonderland looks fake," and it gave it an F grade.
I have questions and comments. First off, yes, as soon as she showed up, I was like, is that Pam Grier in this fucking movie? Yes,
the adult cast was top tier.
It was stacked.
Yeah.
We got Jean Smart. We got Chevy Chase.
Whoever put Jean Smart in that fucking wig deserves to die a slow death. But continue, Jackie. Sorry.
Okay. So you were telling me that Roger Ebert gave Baps 0 stars. But it seems he at least gave this something because it wasn't on the 0 stars list.
Racism, I'm telling you, that motherfucker said Baps is the worst movie of
Go ahead,
the
Donny.
year.
This is your time to finally retain the knowledge. Go ahead.
We also shout out Roger Ebert every episode. And I've told Chelsea 4 times on the podcast and forget that I've told her this. And then
every time it's new. To him,
it's not racism,
I remember.
Danielle. It's not racism. It could be racism, but he asked Oprah out on a date, and she said no. She did not like Roger Ebert, but she was the one that then put him on and gave him a career. And Roger Ebert went on to marry a Black woman.
Let me just tell you, sometimes the call is coming from in the house.
No, I know that. That's why I said it could be racism. But I also want to point out, he asked Oprah on a date.
She was like,
Donny was just excited to be able to share this information with somebody that hadn't heard it 6 times and was going to make fun of him for it.
I'm not surprised he's into the chocolate. In many ways, he's into the chocolate. But yeah, I'm just very dedicated to being upset with him this month because we've been fighting since Scream 3. Yeah.
Mm.
I hope
Well-
he's on the up next episode.
He always got a lot of shit to say.
Yeah. Lil Raj.
I do have a lot to say about the cast, but before we jump into that, let's hear a message from our pod pals.
You're invited to I Am the Cute One, the most chaotic school dance in the podcast universe.
Let's spike the punch, grind to usher, and talk about our favorite topic, ourselves.
On our show, we'll chat movies, kind of, gossip about pop culture and current events, kind of, but mostly we'll overshare, trauma dump, and embarrass ourselves publicly.
After all, we're millennials, so we've been living and laughing and loving through unprecedented events every few years our entire lives.
I'm Donny, and I am the cute one. I'm the resident Marsha Brady, Kiki Palmer's #1 fan, and the president of the Leah Michelle Book Club.
And I'm Chelsea, and I'm the cute one. I'm a man-hating, reality TV-obsessed Gemini just trying to gentle parent without losing my mind. And together, we're best friends, mortal enemies, and the hosts of I Am the Cute One.
So, if talking shit is your love language, smash that subscribe button and let's get cute. Talk to you later. Love you like a sister.
I don't know what we're gonna do with cast and crew because it's looking real thin. But
I got
talk about the
thoughts.
cast. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so the one fact we do have are the news anchor woman and sportscaster in the film are real life news anchors for a television station in Edmonton, Alberta, where the exterior shots were filmed.
Hats
So that
off.
is interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. Another point of contention. I was like, is that Chili as Mama's
Yes,
assistant?
it sure is.
Where'd she come from?
Okay, so my thought process is this, and I learned this from one of the actors from Spice World, which was that he did Spice World because of his daughter being obsessed with the Spice Girls. So I think a lot of actors, if you notice, they start as soon as they have kids, they start doing like kid movies. Like Will Smith did Shark Tale out of nowhere because he had kids. So I think a good majority of the cast had children and were like, let me do a kids movie. That's one. Some
That
people
makes
just
sense.
also needed a check. Chevy Chase at the time, I mean, we already know he's a piece of shit. So I'm just guessing he needed to take what he needed to take.
Well, and this
Well-
is
Yeah.
a couple years after Man of the House. So like he was in kind of his family friendly era.
Trying to probably revamp his horrible legacy of just being a dickhead. So who knows? And clearly he didn't learn a damn thing because when he was on Community, he was still a shithead. So it just
My
continues.
favorite thing is to watch just the Community cast do interviews and just drag Chevy Chase for filth. And I love that, like, because I didn't watch Community until the pandemic, and then I just binged it. And if you watch it, and then I'm me, so then I went down all the rabbit holes of all the behind the scenes stuff. But if you watch it, his character gets more and more and more awful. And it's because the writers just started taking stuff he was saying on set and making it his character. So when he becomes an even worse person, that's because they were just making it Chevy Chase.
I love Dan Harmon for that. He's the best. If you are on TikTok, one of our other guests, her name's Maria, she loves Community, and so she does like a lot of stuff, and there's definitely some hate for Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Such a shithole. Who
Other
else?
notable is that this actor moments. Iggy Pop as the ice skating rink DJ.
Well, that just like what Donnie was saying, that he didn't really want to watch this movie because it gave Pete and Pete vibes. This was originally supposed to be a Pete and Pete movie, which when I was watching it, I felt like this gave Pete and Pete, and then once knowing that, I see it all pull apart.
Yeah.
Like the sister, I could see older Pete doing some of the shenanigans that he does.
Honestly, behind Donnie right here, that poor boy in the uncircumcised penis hat, why did they do that to him? And knowing it's was supposed to be Pete and Pete. Like that tracks a little
Yes.
bit more.
And Iggy Pop was on Pete and Pete.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
that explained, they probably signed him on and then were like, oh, by the way, it's nothing to do with Pete and Pete. And he was probably so like disoriented. He was like, I don't care.
And then we have John Schneider, which was he still on Smallville at this point? No, he hadn't started Smallville.
No. John Schneider is a fucking cunt. I
Yes.
fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Where's the oh shit?
know
Where's
nothing
the
about
burn
him.
book?
Where's the burn book?
Put John Schneider in there.
Oh, haha, found it.
We have a burn book that we started during the Mean Girls episode. So we write random grievances that we have.
Oh,
In the
I
burn
love
book.
that.
There is a ugly. Okay, a little burn book.
I'll also put Roger Ebert's 0 rating of Baps in there.
Oh, yes,
0-star rating.
Lil Raj.
And while you do that, I just
Mhm.
want to get it out of the way that Chris Elliott's whole career has skeeved me out. Like I cannot
He's disgusting to look at.
stand him. I think it originated from when I watched Cabin Boy. And
I hope we never do that fucking movie.
It wasn't Scary Movie.
No, because I don't like the Scary Movie, so I never saw past one.
Oh,
Oh.
But
interesting
like,
choice.
yeah, I cannot stand him, and he shows up in so many of my favorite things. He's in How I Met
Schitt's
Your
Creek?
Mother.
Mm.
He's in Schitt's Creek. Like I'm like, why? Why do you keep getting jobs? You're gross.
He's playing the role to the T.
But I do love his daughter on SNL. I will say
His
that.
daughter's on SNL? I didn't
Yeah,
know that. I stopped
Chloe's
watching
in
that
it.
show.
Wait,
That's
Chloe
his
who?
daughter?
Chloe Elliott, is that her name? Hold on.
I think so, yeah. I think it is Chloe Elliott. Fact check.
I know his daughter is on SNL, and I see her in my
I'm always- I don't
Abby
know why.
Elliott. Abby Elliott.
Abby Elliott. Yes, yes, yes. She's the
What?
yeah.
I don't know why Nepo babies shock me every time. Every time I'm like, no, they have connections in Hollywood.
Okay, I
Wild.
guess we've avoided it enough. Let's
I
get
mean,
into.
there's not much of a plot, but let's
There
do
really
it.
isn't. Yeah. So
God bless us.
Everyone.
so the whole plot of there are like 2 main plots of the movie, I guess.
Mhm.
There is kids want a snow day, but it's an unusually warm winter. And then the oldest son, Hal, has a crush on this girl, Claire.
Who was shockingly not the lead from Vampire Diaries. I get this girl confused every time I see them. And I get so excited because yes, and I always think it is Nina Dobrev, and it never is Nina
Wait,
Dobrev.
it's not her? Is she the one
No.
from Entourage?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, it's that one.
yeah.
Okay.
I did.
I
think
can
it
never
was
say her last
Nina
name.
in the first scene.
Chirac.
And then
What's her last name? It's not Chirac.
Chiri-
Chiriki?
Chiriki?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Emmanuel Chiriki.
Yeah. In the first scene, I was like, is that Nina? And then by the second scene, I'm like, oh no, that's
Girl
Jeff
from On the
Crazy.
Line.
Or, yeah, online. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
So whenever it's not Nina, I get mad. So I was mad as soon as this movie started.
But
So you
like, but it was too early on for it to be Nina. She didn't come out till much later. She's much younger than us. Well, Jackie and I.
Danielle, I'm fact free in life. So I don't care
I'm
about
sorry. I am
timelines.
so sorry I gave you so much logic. I don't know what I was doing. Forgive me.
Yeah, anyone who listens to your show then is going to go over to our show is going to be like, we get facts and figures and cast. Just last week, I was who did I think the main character was? Oh, I confused Allie See, here I go. Allie Larder.
Allie Larder. Mhm.
I confused her with the trifecta of I can't tell their faces apart. Allie Larder, Julia Stiles, and the
Erica
person from-
Christensen. 3 women who famously look nothing alike.
I feel like Julia Stiles and Erica Christensen
Yeah.
do look very much
same
alike.
face.
Yeah.
But Allie Lauder, I'm sorry to just.
That's what I
That's
said.
okay. It's a medical condition. Me and Brad Pitt have it. It is face blindness.
So we learn more about the Branston family. Apparently, the mom is a go-getter and she's always working. The dad played by and the mom's played by Gene Smart. The dad is played by Chevy Chase. He is a local weatherman, but he's in like this heated competition with the rival station. And so Jonathan Schneider is out charming everyone, so he has to like wear these fucking get-ups and stuff.
So essentially, John Schneider's character is hotter than
Yeah.
ever Chevy Chase could ever be. So his station is like, who his boss is, Pam Grier, is like, put on this funny outfit, do something stupid. You're here for laughs. Your face is for radio kind of vibes, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And he's trying to do real meteorology and not doing so well with that.
Which I hate when that's a trope. 10 things, I mean, how to lose a guy in 10 days. Just write the fucking how to give a blowjob article. This, just put on the turkey costume and talk about how hot it is in November. I don't care. That sounds like a dream job.
Donnie
Right.
is
That's why
famously
people want butter for themselves. I hate it.
Donnie is an anti-capitalist king. He's like, do your fucking job and go home. Get that check.
No, but it's fun jobs, Chelsea. If the snowplow man wanted better for himself, I would say like that. Yeah, that could be boring. But he was
Right.
having the time of his life killing little kids.
Right. It's like, you're Andy Anderson. Write the blowjob article.
Yeah, I mean, I would live for it. I was like, I'll do the research if you need me to. They're like, it's not your article. I'm like, I
Boots
know.
on the ground.
I'll give her my notes when I'm done.
And I will say, usually Danielle is like the antagonist apologist. And the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm just like, the adults are just trying to get on with their day. Like,
Yeah.
that's all they're trying to do. The snowplow man is trying to do his fucking job and plow the streets.
Can I tell you, this was a really full circle moment for me. There are moments where you start to resonate with the parents and you think, uh-oh, it's happening.
That black
Uh-oh.
mother with 4 kids was you, Chelsea. I knew it. When she started crying.
When
it
she
was
started
announced-
crying. So,
Yeah.
so full circle moment. I saw this for the first time when it came out on a snow day as a child.
Ah.
I don't know if there's any listeners that are in the DMV area. I'm sending you light and love, hugs, whatever you need to do to get through this. My daughters have not been to 5 consecutive days of school since November. We had today off. There wasn't snow. There was a flurry in the air and they said, oh, better cancel it. I truly, watching this with them because they're home with me again because it's another snow day, they were loving it. My youngest daughter, I sent Donnie a picture. She couldn't have gotten closer to the TV if she tried. They were entranced. And part of me was like, oh, like, look, they're having the experience I had. But then Donnie, yeah, that woman crying when they called out of schools, I was like, well, if I was going to pick a character that I resonate with, that's me now.
The poor principal, he's just the principal and he's getting attacked with snowballs constantly because he happens to be the principal of the school.
I feel like that guy was on Pete and Pete, though. Him, too. The
I
guy
feel
who was
like he
principal.
probably was.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you know who
No.
it is, Chelsea? Face blind Chelsea.
I do.
What? She's gonna be wrong. What?
No, I do. Because I thought to myself, I know this man. I know him. I know he has a Lego face, like very long. And I remember it. He is Valerie Cherish's boyfriend
On the
who picked up
comeback, that's correct.
smoking.
Yeah,
Mhm.
wonderful.
See, our Patreon does something for us.
Educates you to do something, I guess. My principal in high school, no one threw snowballs at her, but people did egg her house just for being the principal. So this is same vibes.
Who was our principal, Jackie? Was it?
And we
Oh,
want a
she had-
first and last name, Jackie.
I think she had the same last name as me. I think it was something Clark.
I mean, I could go get my yearbook.
Oh boy, she's blonde. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Blonde
matter.
Clark.
And she was very tall, I feel like.
I thought she
Blonde,
was
tall
short.
Clark.
Oh, I don't
Put
know.
her in the yearbook, Danielle. I mean, put her in the burn book. Tall, blonde, Mrs. Clark.
Egger.
Oh boy,
Woo.
so many plot lines happening.
Yeah, so Natalie is Hal's little sister. So Hal is on this journey to woo Claire. So I guess we'll take it plot point by plot point instead of trying to like follow the thread of the movie if there is one. So Natalie just wants a snow day. And her dad like is knowledgeable, a knowledgeable meteorologist. So she's kind of looking at the barometric pressure and like not holding out, or like she's holding out hope. Um,
Like me during this election.
yeah,
Or when you thought this was going to be a good movie.
yeah.
Yeah. I had no thoughts of that. I don't think any of us walked into this movie thinking it was going to be good.
Stellar movie. So she gets her wish. It does snow, and her main goal is to get a elusive second snow day, and the only way that can happen is if the streets aren't plowed. So her nemesis is the plowman. It's just what they call him. He has a raven for some reason in his truck.
The outbreaks of the bird flu is from that man. Somehow, some way, I believe he has started it.
He's eating ketchup off a kid's chest at some point.
That was another full circle moment. I'm so sorry to
Ew,
interrupt, but
why?
because I myself love them. No, Donnie, I've never eaten. Do you know how I have firsthand knowledge now of how gross children's coats are?
Yes.
There is nothing grosser in this world than a child's coat. To then, like, that is an unwell man to be like, let me swirl it around. Like, ugh. You couldn't pay me.
So why is it full circle?
Because I once again was resonating with adults, and he is not. Let's be clear, he might be big in age, but he is not an adult in this movie.
Also, I always tell on myself, Chelsea knows my eyes glaze over easily, and I think I'm watching something, but then we talk about it and I don't. First of all, I thought the little girl was magic. Second of all, I had no idea the plot was for them to not get the street shoveled. And I promise I was not multitasking.
What did you think that they were doing with the snowman, the plowman? You thought they were just fucking with him for no reason?
That's what your daughters would do to me if I had that job. Yeah.
True. That is true.
Oh my gosh. I think there was, I'm going off plot, but there's a scene because the kids do all sorts of stupid shit to stop him. They kidnap the bird. They try to, that's what Josh Peck's. I also love that she has a fucking Yeti container or something, or cooler, sorry, with snowballs in it already.
From last year.
Girl, bye. That, I don't care how, like, I don't know a cooler that would work.
Can I tell you, I think this movie is really representing mental health, right? So we know that, like, in the past, that's anxiety, or no, in the past, that's depression. We're thinking about the past. We're thinking about the future. That's anxiety. They're yearning for that second snow day. They're thinking about snow days past. But instead, if we just zoom in, if we just live in the present, if we just enjoy this snow day, perhaps we don't have to terrorize a poor man just trying to collect a check and get his 401k paid for, you know?
I think the
You're
best.
disgusting.
Speaking of disgusting, I think the best factoid we have on this movie is the fact that Chris Elliott admitted that he was asked by the director to stop brushing his teeth
Ew.
to add to
No.
the plow guy character. He complied,
He did it. He did it.
and that's
Ugh.
why his character's teeth look the way they do.
So Abby Elliott is not a Nepo baby then. Her father might be famous, but she has childhood trauma that forced her to be funny.
That's like Rob Schneider's daughter out here doing interviews.
Oh my
Yes.
God,
Famous
yes.
in spite of.
That is foul.
We can make Cynthia Erivo's face completely green, and we can't just rub some orange stuff on Chris Elliott's teeth.
Yeah, just
Jackie.
gargle orange soda from Cal Mitchell, for God's sake, before you start a scene.
Jackie, you're literally the embodiment of she was too stunned.
Like, because I'm like, oh, they went really overboard with his teeth, and that was fucking real. Like,
Oh no.
I
You watched it
can't.
and you said that was too much.
Yeah, I was
They
like,
just-
why? Why would they do that much? Nickelodeon doing the most, like they always do. No, it was just he didn't fucking brush his teeth. Oh my God. And then he was so close to those kids' faces. This is going into heavyweights territory where like all of these kids need therapy, and that this movie should have never happened. And
No,
there was just
Nickelodeon is
trauma
fucking
happening.
gross. Between this and Dan Schneider,
Oh.
And,
Uh,
and like
they
every
made a
time-
documentary about this, and it's just all about him not brushing his teeth. Just
Day
interviews from
3.
every cast member. Yeah.
It's like a get ready with me, but it's his get ready with me where he does everything but brush his teeth.
Yes. Oh, and then like the poor Josh Peck, who's already the overweight kid for comic relief, and they make fart noises in every single fucking scene he's in. I'm like, stop.
Can I tell you though? Those fart noises, a big hit in my living room. Cackling, belly laughing, chuckling happening from the 5 and 7-year-old audience.
And from the 38-year-old one, too. It got me every time.
Also, that scene where the man first of all, he kidnaps a child,
Yes.
right? He is
Yeah.
holding this child captive. He then goes to try to find the girl. I don't even know anyone's name. I'm not going to even
It's
try at this
fine.
point. He
Mhm.
goes to the girl's house. Jean Smart opens the door and she sees the little boy. He is literally writing help in
Yes.
Yeah.
in the car. Like, she doesn't think it's weird. As a parent who knows that that child is one of her friends, her child's
friend. Yeah.
you see a child with a weird man who plows the streets,
Who
and
doesn't
you
brush
don't-
his teeth.
who doesn't brush his teeth, and you think that's normal. The
Mhm.
child is literally writing help, and you're like, what's he doing? Bitch, wake up.
And
Right.
he's looking for your kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And she leaves the door wide open because she has another child she can't fucking control. She's got one child going, first of all, CPS, where you at? Because I got a whole household of children doing all sorts of illegal shit on a snow day.
But in Jean Smart's defense, I'm not a mother. But if I thought my child was about to get kidnapped and saw he already had one victim, then I would say like, oh, maybe he'll forget about mine if I let him take this one.
In Jean Smart's defense,
Yeah.
she had a conference call, Donnie said.
She did.
Yeah, so that was disturbing. And then he walked in the house and picked up the phone because the little mastermind girl is calling him to threaten him with the fucking bird she stole. First of all, how does that bird not fly away? Because when they go to do the exchange, the bird is just on her hand.
Yeah.
There's
That's
no
another
reason.
point. That's a point though for Donnie's theory. She's magic.
See?
Facts. At this point, it's the only thing that
It's the
makes any
only
goddamn
explanation.
sense. Yeah. And she also is, and I see, you know what, Donnie? I'm not going to laugh at you saying that she was magic because she also was fucking hallucinating talking to an action figure.
She
The whole
hallucinated
movie.
talking to an action figure. She hallucinated it snowing in her room, and then it snowed that very night. She's magic.
Or she's had lead exposure. We don't know. It could
Well,
be anything.
that youngest brother definitely had lead exposure.
Yeah.
The things that child was doing, like I'm like, everyone needs to be in therapy in that house.
Christine could never. I kept on watching that kid. I said all my mom would have to do was give that look like, excuse me, sit your ass down.
Yeah.
Mommy's
Painted
on a
yourself
conference call.
blue.
There
You're
ain't no
outside.
way.
Blowing bubbles with a straw in your soup.
Wait, when the little brother, though, put his whole fist in his mouth, he literally said, I can put my whole fist in my mouth. Want to see? Did Mean Girl steal that? Or was it just a coinkadink? Because I gasped. I know my eyes were glazed over for the rest of the movie. I thought I was watching Harry Potter, but they did wake up for that. I said, wait a second. What did I just hear? I'm going to sue.
So Mean Girls drew inspiration from the
From Snow
cinematic
Day.
classic Snow Day.
But like
But-
literally
but-
word for
but-
word,
but-
Jackie.
But if we're going down the 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever, Chevy Chase, SNL, Tina Fey, there could
So
have
he
been.
said what? One time in one of my movies, the little kid said this. You want to put it in your movie? She's like, that's
Maybe.
the ticket, honey. Yeah.
Uh-huh. She's like, by George, we've got it.
I
Well,
just think word for word is a little suspicious.
it is, and that is why in our burn book. One of the
Wrote
very
Tina
first
Fey
entries.
copycat.
Oh shit, is it glue? Ugh. Oh, okay. Let me find it. Sorry. Give me a second.
The
Oh,
ADHD took hold for a second.
it did. I just have Tina Fey and then I have New Jersey. I don't think I put the adjectives that I
That's
said
enough.
about.
That's enough. You said it all.
But yes, I'm gonna put she's a thief in here
Please
to
do.
clarify.
A thief.
A thief. A thief.
A thief from Snow Day of all things.
Huh.
You
And
know
that's why
what?
it never got a sequel.
But it did get a musical, Donnie.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Donnie's face just fell.
Snow Day did?
Let me put you on game real quick. In 2023, a musical remake of the film was
Oh,
made.
unfortunately.
The reimagined musical starred Kai Baldwin, Jerry Trainer, who is from what's that Nickelodeon TV show with Miranda?
iCarly.
iCarly. Laura
Donnie
Bell.
was too old to watch that one.
Donnie, get this.
I had a little sister. It looped back around.
Laura Bell Bundy, Donnie.
What?
Yes. Rob
Nepo
Hubel.
baby of Ted Bundy?
No.
Famously.
Broadway legend,
Yeah.
Laura Bell Bundy. Husband stealer as well.
God bless her.
Rob Hubel, Michaela Russell, Shelby Simmons, and Fabi Aguirre. Sorry if I said that wrong. And it was released on Nickelodeon on Paramount Plus. So if you want to go for a twofer, you can go to Paramount Plus and watch both versions of Snow Day.
So here's the thing. I did tell Chelsea, I assumed sometimes Chelsea puts on the wrong movie and it's like 50 minutes in. And she's like, wait a second. You said this movie was about this, but I'm watching a documentary about like albino twins. And I'm like, oh no, that's not the right obsessed. So I was like, just make sure you're watching the original Snow Day and not the one from 2023. I did not know the one from 2023 was a musical, or that is the one I would have been watching. And just hope there was enough similarities and I would have been like, oh yeah, the snow. But little did I know, I would have thought it was about magic anyway. I could have just came and said whatever the fuck I wanted.
That snowplow number killed. I love
Really
it.
got it.
So
Yeah.
good. Other thoughts about the Snowplow Man storyline? They had time. What time did they get up in the morning? Because they had time to build this giant, like, underground snow cave.
Mhm.
Bring a whole ass TV and PlayStation down there.
I have something for you.
What do you have?
I was scouring the internet for notes, right? Fun facts. I found a thread on Reddit about Snow Day. So I was like, "Ooh, let me see what the people got to say." Danny Hibiki 337 said, "This is one of the greatest movies ever made. Saw it in theaters. I like when they have PlayStation in the snow fort. Good movie."
Someone do a wellness check on Danny.
Danny was sitting next to me in the theaters and he just hasn't rewatched since. He also walked out and being like, well, this is what film is all about.
I also was like, oh, this must be an old thread. So I just checked 4 months ago.
Oh no. I hope he never rewatches.
Yeah, like they're just fully regressed to their childhood and they're like, we're gonna stay where it's safe in the snow fort with the PlayStation in Snow Day.
I feel like this episode is the most I've laughed ever.
More than at this movie, actually.
All
Oh,
right, what's the next plot line?
Yeah, I'm
That's
trying to
it.
think.
That's the end of the film.
Oh, wait,
Well,
no.
we didn't get to the part where she steals the snowplow and unplows the streets
Right.
to get her second snow day.
What a plan.
And in the
We
midst of doing that, she also saves her brother from an unhinged, very close to roided out Barry or being
Roided out Barry. I forgot about
Yes.
roided out Barry.
so very unhinged like him, ready to fight at any moment.
But also, I'm going on a bit of a tangent because I saw a TikTok about, I don't remember where it was, some city, And you could track the snowplows on like the app to see like if they plowed your street, but they all had super fun names.
Like
Oh.
what?
Like Control Salt Delete.
Oh, that's cute.
Ooh.
That
I
is
like
cute.
that.
There was Sleetwood Mac.
Love that.
There was a Plowy McPlowface.
Not my favorite.
You're a Blizzard, Harry.
That's fun.
Ooh.
So apparently in cities that need plows, they do this and they name their snowplows really fun things.
That's
Danielle, here's one
Oh.
for you. Han Snowlow.
Ooh. I would
Next
do
time
one.
I see a snowplow, I'm gonna run down the street and say, "What's your name? What's your name?"
I feel like you just telling us a story was way more inventive,
Interesting.
imaginative, and interesting than this movie was.
Because his was just named Clementine. That's not witty
No.
or enjoyable.
I like how the kids, when they were at the end beating him up, essentially, I love that part. But also, I love that they were singing Clementine to him in a very mischievous way. Loved it.
It
That
was
my
very
favorite-
Jordan Peele trailer.
Yes.
Yes.
Felt like I was watching
Which,
a horror movie. Yeah.
Jordan Peele, if you're listening, we do not need a Snow Day remake.
No.
No.
No, please.
Because this would never last as a black movie.
You just be inside watching TV until snow day was over.
Yeah, we ain't going out in that shit.
Because snow is just frozen water and you're not getting your hair wet.
Fuck no. You damn right about that. Maybe that is the horror movie in itself. A bunch of black women trying to escape fucking wetting our hair. Although, with my natural curls, a nice cold weather is not so bad. Or I could straighten my hair, but none of that melting water. Nah.
Yeah.
No.
Anywho, I'm going to go really quickly through this love situation.
Please do.
Okay, so we've got a nerd and his two friends. Classic trope of my best friend that I've grown up with is secretly in love with me and is watching me now try to mac on a girl that is way out of my league. Whole thing. Yeah. So Mark Webber, that's what I'm going to call him. Don't know what his character's name is. He's obsessed with Emmanuel. Again, don't know what her character's name is. He's a swimmer. She's a diver. She looks like she is 19 years old playing this high schooler. She has a roided out boyfriend who's obsessed with her but knows nothing about her. And he feels like this snow day is magical because this is the day he gonna get his bad bitch. For real, for real. He then slips in some fucking water at the swimming pool because, like, why are we having snow day outside? This is definitely some unhinged white people shit. Because why are we swimming inside when it's cold outside? It's not, the shit ain't adding up.
It could be warm in there, Danielle.
I only go in the pool when it's hot outside.
No, that's where you're wrong. Listen, I like I share opinions with a lot of black people. I don't let animals in my bed. I don't wear outside clothes on my sofa.
Love
I
it.
agree. I agree with the rules black people put in place. But we can swim inside in a warm room. It's warmer in there than it is outside, Danielle.
My grandma would disagree because you swimming, getting your hair wet, washing your hair,
Well, the
then
hair
going
is
outside in the
different.
snow.
I'm bald as hell. That's a
It just
different
is
issue,
not,
Grandma.
it's not adding up. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's not my culture, whatever. But anywho, they out in the pool. This motherfucker slips and falls. He decide he gonna stay underwater a little bit. He see a little chain with some whale or shit on it. He decide I'm gonna take that. That's my bae's. I'm not gonna give it to her right away. I'm gonna hold on to it and make it a
Creepy.
whole fucking plot line, whatever.
And they
And-
kept saying it was a bracelet when she was very clearly wearing it on her ankle.
It's an anklet, yes.
Yeah.
You know all these things about her. You don't know where she wears that. So
Yes.
Right. Right.
how much of a stalker are you actually?
It could have been
Right.
her vajazzle.
And I hate
Donny.
I hate the plot line that she does not know who this man is or this boy is and has no idea that he's been stalking her since 1985. Like, it's
Yeah.
very weird. Anywho, there's a diner scene. he's talking about her, obsessed with her, making plans. I don't remember much of what else happens. I know he digs a whale out in the snow to show how much he loves her. He also takes over the
You
Iggy
okay,
Pops.
Donnie? I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
My
I'm so
ADHD
sorry. I'm sorry. I
What?
tried to hide it.
What
I-
happened?
No, I took my fiber
Nothing.
pills during that monologue, but then I put too much water in my mouth and I couldn't swallow it. So I just had like chipmunk cheeks that whole time you were talking.
Oh
I covered
no.
my
And I
mouth
tried to ignore
Chelsea.
it, but then I was gonna laugh, but then I didn't want you to think I am being rude because I had gotten pulled, my attention had been pulled, but I wanted
I'm
you to
so
know I wasn't
sorry.
laughing at you. I was laughing at Donnie.
No, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay.
He took his fiber. He's
Fiberific,
fantastic now.
actually.
You were talking about impressing the person you like, and I was like, oh, let me make sure I take my fiber pills.
No wet poops for me.
Oh, gotta stay regular. It's important, everybody.
Right,
Colon
it
cancer is on the rise. The fact that I've brought up colon cancer quite a few times on the show.
Like this is the third episode in a row
They can
where Danielle's
sponsor you.
just like,
Yeah.
Yes, colon
Prote-
cancer. Holla
check
at
your
your girl.
colons.
Anywho, the boy does all this stuff. We start seeing his girl, who's played by Skylar Fisk, another Nepo baby. She's like in love with him, and then he finds out he knows nothing about this girl. There is a snowmobile scene because it's like giving Fast and Furious. Then he realized I don't even like the girl I've been stalking. I actually like my best friend. They kiss, they get together, the end.
Yeah.
I do love that the Hoku song plays like 5 minutes into the movie, but then I'm sad because I'm like, it didn't, like, if it waited, it would have pulled me through this movie. But you put it right in the beginning, and I'm like, I have nothing to live for watching this movie anymore.
It's so true.
I think we did all the plot lines, except then there's like the beef between Chevy Chase's character and Dan, what's his name? No, not Dan. John Schneider.
John Schneider.
Fighting about who's the best weatherman, but essentially they get a second snow day. And did we miss anything?
Just the very driven mom who's selling soda products to the Chinese. Is that Japanese?
Yeah.
Oh no, you didn't miss anything.
With Chili from TLC randomly doing that movie. And I'm thinking she also had a kid around that time, so that makes sense that maybe she was doing that movie, because I didn't understand why. Why are you in this movie? Can't think.
I love when I asked ChatGPT to like break down the movie synopsis. It always puts an opinion at the end
Yes,
that we
it
didn't
does.
ask for. So this one is Snow Day is a nostalgic feel-good romp that captures the essence of winter break and youthful rebellion.
Huh.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
So many things about the facts from this movie are just dirty. For example, all the snow used in close-up shots on set were created by a snow machine that used treated sewage water on loan from the city of Los Angeles.
Ew.
Wait, so they were just like, so the teeth and then sewage water snow.
Yes.
This is a class action lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah, this is almost as bad as Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Asbestos.
Yeah.
I feel like as a viewer, I'm entitled to compensation. Well, I guess we should say, and that is Snow Day, even though
Yeah.
We made it, y'all. We did
we
it.
did. Woohoo.
We're like snowbirds. We made it through.
In my defense, the movie would have been better if she was magic.
I think she was, Donnie. I think
Thank
you're
you.
onto something.
I mean, look at her in this picture behind me. That's witchcraft.
It really. Oh, we didn't mention the dolls that she had imaginary conversations with.
Yeah, we did.
Did
When
we?
I thought she was magic, yeah, that
Yeah.
was that was a backup bullet point.
My
That was
eyes
part
must have
of his
glazed over like
Glazed over.
Donnie's.
Any
Or
other-
that's when my mouse died, and then I had to go on
No, it was
a
before
panic
that.
time.
I want to give you
Good
the
try,
credit,
Jack.
but Another fun fact that there was a real bank heist that took place near the filming of the location.
Oh,
The
shit.
felons actually drove right past the production.
Oh my God.
The production assistant, and they immediately alerted everyone on set. They were surprised. The felons were surprised to see that they were driving through a film set shortly before driving headlong into and becoming hopelessly stuck in a fake snowdrift
Of sewage water.
of sewage
Right.
water. The police immediately apprehended the bumbling crooks, to the amusement of all on set. They should have filmed that.
Well, there-
That should have been in the movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's your movie right there.
Now, the part that wasn't in that is that they actually smelled that one man's breath and they said, "Take me away. Anything is better. Lock me up."
Hoku's Another Dumb Blonde was nominated for the Blockbuster Entertainment Awards for Favorite Song from a Movie.
The fact she lost is a fucking crime.
What
That's
did
all
she
I have
lose
to say.
to?
Where is Hoku, by the way?
I don't know.
Good question.
In Hawaii, doing
Ho-
Hawaii things.
Hoku, we miss you, girl. Come back. The charts need you. It's just a bunch of them pastas out here.
Mm.
Except Beyonce. All right. We're done. Great. I can't do anymore. Why didn't you tell everybody where they can find your podcast and you guys on social?
Perfect. You can listen to I Am the Cute One podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever else. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/I Am the Cute One, where currently we are covering Desperate Housewives season 1, but we also have covered The Comeback, Seventh Heaven, Glee. We
Pretty
have it all.
Wild.
Pretty Wild. Thank you. I think Entourage will be next. And on social media, you can follow Instagram. I'm at Real Donnywood. She's at Oh No Chelsea. And then on YouTube, I Am the Cute One podcast.
Love it. And as always, you guys can check us out at No More Late Fees on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Threads, Blue Sky, and whatever social media platform they throw at us next. So let's get into our present day ratings. Chelsea, we'll start with you. Now that you've rewatched it with fresh new mommy eyes, how do you feel about Snow Day?
What's the lowest one again?
Same day
Same day.
rental.
Same day rental. But you know what? I'm gonna do an average of my household because I do think it brought me joy. It healed my inner child to see my daughters hitting it at that high note. So I'm gonna do a 2-day rental.
All
We're gonna do a net positive-ish in my house from this experience.
All right, Donnie.
What's the one where I set the Blockbuster on fire so nobody has to watch it again? I would do a same day rental.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie.
Same. Yeah. If I have to see Chris Elliott's stanky ass teeth again in my life, it'll be too soon.
Yeah, I can't even like the fact that I went in with such a high rating. It's same day. I can't. Young Danielle needed the therapy she's getting today for sure.
Well, if Snow Day is your favorite movie, hit us up at our quick drop 909-601-6653. Twat us at the Twitters, hem us at the Threads, butterfly in the sky at Blue Skies, and you can be featured on a future episode.
And join us next week as we don some red leather and kick ass with Elektra.
Hopefully, it's a little bit redeeming.
I
It'll
don't care
have to
what
be.
nobody says. I fucking love that movie.
I mean, at
We
least-
heard that about this too, Danielle.
Your repertoire, proceed yourself.
I told y'all that it's one of my low points. This year is just going to be a highlight of the insane movies I love.
Yes.
Sleepover is my birthday movie. Can't tell me shit about that movie. And I know I was grown as fuck going to see that movie, and I don't care.
After that age gap, it's okay. I'm going to end it there.
Judge your mamas.
And Chelsea and Donny, it was so much fun. I hope we find another really shitty movie to make you watch and come back and talk about.
No,
Yes.
thank you so much for
Yes.
having us. This was such a long time in the making, and
Yeah.
like my cheeks hurt from laughing. This
Mine
is so
too.
fun.
Thank you.
If
Yeah,
you
blast.
guys didn't have a good time, just lie to me. Okay. In the future, just keep lying. I don't ever want to know.
Imagine we log off and then we DM you like, sorry, actually, terrible time.
That's what people do on Grindr. They say, I had a wonderful time. And then when you leave, they message you and say, actually, I don't want to see you again.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
just block me next time. So, Danielle, if you're blocked, that's because I'm polite.
I will become your number one stalker if you block me.
Ugh.
And as always, be kind and rewind.